Syria Palaestina was a Roman province between 135 and about 390. It was established by the merger of Roman Syria and Roman Judea, following the defeat of the Bar Kokhba revolt in 135. Shortly after 193, the Syrian regions were split off as Syria Coel in the north and Phoenicia in the south, and the province Syria Palaestina was reduced to Judea. The earliest numismatic evidence for the name Syria Palaestina comes from the period of Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Background: Syria was an early Roman province, annexed to the Roman Republic in 64 BCE by Pompey in the Third Mithridatic War, following the defeat of Armenian king Tigranes the Great. Following the partition of the Herodian kingdom into tetrarchies in 06 CE, it was gradually absorbed into Roman provinces, with Roman Syria annexing Itoria and Trachonitis. The Roman province of Judea incorporated the regions of Judea, Samaria, and Idumea, and extended over parts of the former regions of the Hasmonean and Herodian kingdoms of Israel. It was named after Herod Archelaus's Tetrarchy of Judea, but the Roman province encompassed a much larger territory. The capital of Roman Syria was established in Antioch from the very beginning of Roman rule, while the capital of the Judea province was shifted to Caesarea Maritima, which, according to historian H. Ben Sasson, had been the administrative capital of the region beginning in 06 AD. Judea province was the scene of unrest at its founding in 06 CE during the census of Quirinius, and several wars were fought in its history, known as the Jewish-Roman Wars. The temple was destroyed in 70 as part of the Great Jewish Revolt, resulting in the institution of the Ficus Judaicus. The provinces of Judea and Syria were key scenes of an increasing conflict between Judean and Hellenistic population, which exploded into full-scale Jewish-Roman wars, beginning with the Great Jewish Revolt of 66 to 70. Disturbances followed throughout the region during the Kitos War in 117 to 118. Between 132 to 135, Simon Bar Kokhba led a revolt against the Roman Empire, controlling parts of Judea but seemingly not Jerusalem, for 3 years. As a result, Hadrian sent Sextus Julius Severus to the region, who brutally crushed the revolt. After the Bar Kokhba's revolt, the Roman Emperor Hadrian changed the name of the Judea province and merged it with Roman Syria to form Syria Palaestina, while Jerusalem was renamed to Aelia Capitolina, which certain scholars conclude was done in an attempt to remove the relationship of the Jewish people to the region. History: Consolidation. After crushing the Bar Kokhba revolt, the Roman Emperor Hadrian applied the name Syria Palaestina to the entire region that had formerly included a Judea province. Hadrian probably chose a name that revived the ancient name of Philistia, combining it with that of the neighboring province of Syria, in an attempt to suppress Jewish connection to the land. However, Cassius Dio, the Roman historian from whom we have the bulk of our understanding of the revolt, does not mention the change of name nor the reason behind it in his Roman history. The city of Aelia Capitolina was built by the Emperor Hadrian on the ruins of Jerusalem. The capital of the enlarged province remained in Antiochia. In 193, the province of Syria Coel was split from Syria Palaestina. In the 3rd century, Syrians even reached for imperial power with the Severan dynasty. Syria was of crucial strategic importance during the crisis of the 3rd century. Conflict with Sassanids and emergence of the Palmyrene Empire beginning in 212. Palmyre's trade diminished as the Sassanids occupied the mouth of the Tigris and the Euphrates. In 232, the Syrian legion rebelled against the Roman Empire, but the uprising went unsuccessful. Septimius Odaenathus, a prince of Palmyra, was appointed by Valerian as the governor of the province of Syria Palaestina. After Valerian was captured by the Sassanids in 260, and died in captivity in Bishopha, Odaenathus campaigned as far as Ctesiphon for revenge, invading the city twice. When Odaenathus was assassinated by his nephew Maconius, his wife Septimia Zenobia took power, ruling Palmyra on behalf of her son, Vabilathus. Zenobia rebelled against Roman authority with the help of Cassius Longinus and took over Bosra and lands as far to the west as Egypt, establishing the short-lived Palmyrene Empire. Next, she took Antioch and large sections of Asia Minor to the north. In 272, the Roman Emperor Aurelian finally restored Roman control and Palmyra was besieged and sacked, never to recover her former glory. Aurelian captured Zenobia, bringing her back to Rome. He paraded her in golden chains in the presence of the senator Marcellus Petrus Nartennis, but allowed her to retire to a villa in Tibur, where she took an active part in society for years. A legionary fortress was established in Palmyra and although no longer an important trade center, it nevertheless remained an important junction of Roman roads in the Syrian desert. Diocletian built the camp of Diocletian in the city of Palmyra to harbor even more legions and walled it in to try and save it from the Sassanid threat. The Byzantine period following the Roman Empire only resulted in the building of a few churches. Much of the city went to ruin. Reorganization in c. 390, Syria Palaestina was reorganized into the several administrative units: Palaestina Prima, Palaestina Secunda, and Palaestina Tertia, Syria Prima and Phoenician Lebanensis. All were included within the larger Byzantine Diocese of the East, together with the provinces of Isauria, Cilicia, Cyprus, Euphratensis, Mesopotamia, Osron and Arabia Petraea. Palaestina Prima consisted of Judea, Samaria, the Baralia, and Perea with the governor residing in Caesarea. Palaestina Secunda consisted of the Galilee, the lower Jezreel Valley, the regions east of Galilee, and the western part of the former Decapolis with the seat of government at Scythopolis. Palaestina Tertia included the Negev, southern Transjordan part of Arabia, and most of Sinai with Petra as the usual residence of the governor. Palaestina Tertia was also known as Palaestina Salutaris. Religion. A number of events with far-reaching consequences took place, including religious schisms, such as Christianity branching off from Judaism. Second Temple Judaism. The practicing population of the Mosaic faith at the time included the Jews, Samaritans, Nabateans and Edomians. Among the Jews and Edomians, the Jewish-Roman wars created a crisis of religion, out of which the Rabbinic Judaism emerged. Following the Jewish-Roman wars, many Jews left the country altogether for the diaspora communities, and large numbers of prisoners of war were sold as slaves throughout the empire. This changed the perception of Jerusalem as the center of faith, and autonomous Jewish communities shifted from centralized religious authority into more dispersed one. Roman cult. After the Jewish-Roman wars, which Epiphanius believed the Cenacle survived, the significance of Jerusalem to Christians entered a period of decline, Jerusalem having been temporarily converted to the pagan Aelia Capitolina. But interest resumed again with the pilgrimage of Helena to the Holy Land c. 326–28. New pagan cities were founded in Judea at Eleutheropolis, Diopolis, and Nicopolis. Early Christianity. The Romans destroyed the Jewish community of the Mother Church in Jerusalem, which had existed since the time of Jesus. Traditionally, it is believed the Jerusalem Christians waited out the Jewish-Roman wars in Pella and the Decapolis. The line of Jewish bishops in Jerusalem, which is claimed to have started with Jesus' brother James the Righteous as its first bishop, ceased to exist within the empire. This produces the paradox of truly historic significance that while Jewish Christianity was swallowed up in the Christian Church, it preserved itself in Islam. Christianity was practiced in secret and the Hellenization of Palestina continued under Septimius Severus. Demographics. As a large province, the territory of Syria Palaestina comprised the Levant and the western part of Mesopotamia. In northern Levant, the mixed pagan population of Phoenicians, Greeks and Romans formed the majority, along Ishmaelite Arab societies of Itaurians and later also Cartanite Ghassanids, who migrated to the area of Golantos in 4th century from Yemen. A mix of Aramaeans and Assyrians were populating the western Mesopotamia, and nomad Arabs, like the Nabateans, were thriving in the Syrian desert and south, in southern Levant, until about 200 and despite the genocide of Jewish-Roman wars, Jews had formed a majority of the population. Due to the decline of Jewish population, Samaritans and Greco-Romans became the dominant societies in this region by the end of the 2nd century. By the beginning of the Byzantine period, the Jews had become a minority and were living alongside Samaritans, pagan Greco-Syrians and a large Christian community. Other opinions, however, put the majority population of southern Levant on Samaritans or Christian Byzantines. Bibliography. Nicole Baleka, Foundation Myths in Roman Palestine, Traditions and Reworking, Intundux, Nico Roymans, Ethnic Constructs in Antiquity, The Role of Power in Tradition, 167–188.